Welcome to Malcolm Reed's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcolm and Rochelle Reed.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right podcast. I'm your host, Malcolm Reed, joined by my lovely wife, Miss Southern Shell. Got Tyler on the board. Shell, how are you doing this week?
Good. Glad to be back in the podcast studio.
That's right. We missed a week because Tyler was on vacation.
I sure was.
How did that go?
It's
good vacation.
It went by so fast. Like, it's crazy how that works out, and it feels like it was like 2 days and then you're back. But we did a lot.
You've gone a long time, man.
I know. I felt, but I am refreshed and ready to face the holiday season.
Yeah.
Good. We need
It
you.
will be here before long, won't it? Do you consider this the holiday season now? Are we like you've already made plans
We're on the cusp.
to get the Christmas decorations out? Start thinking about it, huh? I saw y'all made a post on the Malcolm Shop page about come in and register. Like so, if you're going to be shopping for a man or you need some gift ideas for Christmas, we have a registry now. You can come in and sign up for the registry, and whoever comes shopping for you can see what you like in the shop.
See, that's a great idea, but how many men do you actually think are going to
Register?
in,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. You know, if I knew there was something I wanted you to get me, I would. If I could do it online on my cell phone, I'd be more apt to do it. Can we do that, or do you got to actually come in to do the registry?
I think you got to come in to do the
If you could figure out a way to where all they had to do was hit this thing, put the stuff they like, and I don't know how you could do that.
I think you can.
It'd be possible.
Yeah,
you'd
I
have to
think
build
that's
a
the
whole.
idea.
You'd have to build a whole shop.
Yeah, it would be a whole
or
separate thing.
Yeah, that might take a minute.
Another thing is, if you went into a store to pick out the things you would like,
I'd go ahead and buy
you
them
just
in.
go ahead and buy them. And
You know,
leave.
everybody's going to put on their smoker.
Yeah.
Smoker. It's gonna be- I might not buy that right now, but I want to put that on my list so that way my wife can go ahead and get me that.
So the Royals this weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot of people over there. Do you wish you were there?
Nope.
I kind of do.
I know you do.
You know, I hate the Royals. So much fun. Like Tyler, if you thought Memphis in May was big, you should go to the American Royal in Kansas City.
Wow.
It's probably 3 times the size of
Yeah.
Memphis in May. It's inside a NASCAR stadium.
Wow.
It's Raceway, the Kansas Speedway.
Yeah.
And it's huge.
It is huge. They don't do the double
they do this
deckers
stuff,
and
do
triple deckers like Memphis and May does.
Mm-hmm.
They just do big tents, like
Yeah.
single level tents.
But there may be like 4 or 5 times the size
Yeah.
of what space we get. They give you a ton of space if you want to buy it. They put all these hay bales out and divide them up, and they have actually like a lot of the bigger ones that are entertaining people have full bands in there. They're partnered with like these liquor companies, so Jim Beam will have a booth. I think Fergalicious is doing a thing with it's either Jim Beam or Dickel. I can't remember which one. I think it's
Really?
Jim Beam.
That's
But
pretty
they're
cool.
doing like a whole Jim Beam experience at Fergalicious. They're going to have cooking all kinds of stuff.
He's going to be so tired by the time
Yeah.
it comes time to cook the competition.
Oh, Fergie don't care. He's a machine. He's going out there.
Oh,
he
he's
told me,
cooking?
yeah.
I didn't
guess
know
he's
that.
cooking. He said he
Yeah.
was going. So he's tired of sitting around the house. So he called me last week and said, man, I'm going to the Royal.
Good for
I don't know if he was trying to talk me into going or just let me know he was going. So I hope he does good.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah. I'd like to see Heath get him a
American Royal, that'd be
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. But yeah, no, I'm okay with not going.
You're okay with not going?
The coldest I've ever been in my entire life was at the Royal. We ended up staying an extra day. Most people had pulled out on Sunday or
Was it
Sunday. Yeah, it was
Sunday. Yeah, we stayed on Monday.
And we had an RV.
Ran out of-
RV, Clark.
Yeah, it was one of those 1-800-RVs.
Yeah.
Rent me.
And,
like
and our propane went out in the middle of the night.
And they pulled all the electricity, so we had
Yeah.
no electricity. I think we had do we have a generator in the red trailer?
Yes.
And it had heat because we had the little heat strip on the AC on it.
But there wasn't enough room for all 3 of us to sleep in the red trailer.
We didn't have
Waylon
enough- we
and
didn't have enough
Vaughn
cordage
slept
to
in the
hook up the other RV.
Yeah. So we somehow we had a heating pad hooked.
We did have power because it had gas. It had an onboard generator. It just didn't have heat.
Okay.
And we didn't have a little heater. I don't know why we didn't think to go like drive to Walmart and buy a heater. Whatever it was, it turned cold.
We put a heating pad in between us.
That was our only heat.
Cuddled
Like we went back to back with a heating
horrible.
pad. in like one sleeping bag. It
was
froze
horrible.
to death. Yeah, it was cold. I was glad to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the weather changed though, because it was like hot one day, and then a front came through, and wind was blowing in Kansas City. I don't know, 60 miles an hour it felt like, and it got cold.
It did. It got really, really, really cold. This
Got a
week,
call that year though.
yeah, we did. We got fifth place in port.
Yeah.
And we've been to the Royal since then and didn't have had a better experience. But that one year.
We took more clothes that time.
Yeah.
I think we still ended up buying like American Royal hoodies or something just to, because it was still cold.
Yeah. I want to talk about the fish I had this week at the parish.
Ooh. It was awesome.
So
Michael's birthday was this week.
Yeah.
And we asked him where he wanted to go eat for his birthday dinner. And he picked this local seafood restaurant we have called The Parish.
It's kind of new. 6 months-ish.
I don't know if they've been open a year yet or not. Do you, Tyler?
I thought they opened in the summer, early summer.
So
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
It hasn't been a year yet.
Chef Tim McMath owns it. He has the restaurant called Junior's in town, which is kind of a beaten three type place. And the food is probably the best food in Hernando.
I think so too.
He decided to open up because he is like a heavily Creole Cajun influenced chef. So he opened up a restaurant called The Parish, which is all seafood done Louisiana style. And I don't know if I've had anything bad there. I hadn't had turtle soup yet. Have you?
I'd try it though.
But their raw oysters were killer. They're still really good. He does a crawfish bread that's phenomenal. And it's like a cheesy crawfish telly, peppers and onions, all smothered on just a loaf of like
It's a real crunchy.
you ever been to New Orleans and got a loaf of their bread for a po' boy? It's like that kind of bread, smothered in all that cheese. And then he always does fish specials. So you got, what was it? Grouper, stuffed.
Crab
Dressing stuffed.
crab
grouper.
dressing stuffed grouper over grits and green beans.
Yes. Like, what are they called?
Haricot vert.
Haricot vert. Is that how you say it? I call them thin green beans.
Yeah.
And they come out looking like they're all green and going to be just, man, these are just boiled
Squeaky.
green beans. Yeah.
They look like they'll be squeaky.
But they were not. They were fried in some kind of animal fat, some kind of way, or sauteed. Because they were delicious. But the fish.
That was the best fish dish I've had. And I've thought about this. The last time I had a fish dish that good, we were at Emerald's in the kitchen, sitting at the chef's table. 6 years ago, 8 years ago.
That's been a long time.
Yeah. That's the last time I had a piece of fish
That good, really? So do you normally, when you see grouper on a menu, is it one of the fish you order?
Sometimes.
What's your hierarchy of like fish when you see them on a menu that you're going to order?
Dover soles up there.
Yeah. Was it better than, no, it wasn't better than Dover sole.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
That's the best fish. The Dover sole is the best fish I ever had in my
So
life.
what's your hierarchy? Because I like
Dover
redfish.
sole. If Dover sole in a like a, what do they call it? It's not a minuet. It's like a lemony butter sauce. I don't even know how to say it. I'm not French and I'm not fancy, but that's the best fish I've ever had. I had that at a private residence in South Dakota, but a chef did fly in to cook it, and they flew the Dover sole in that day. So that was probably the best fish I've ever ate in my life. I had to pick one.
Yeah.
The Emerald's experience, and that was a redfish, was really good. Usually, so my hierarchy is if I see Dover sole, I'm assuming somebody knows how to cook that if they've got it on the menu.
It's hard to find it
Next
on
is
menu.
probably Chilean Sea Bass.
Yeah.
When I think of
I like
Chilean
sea
Sea
bass.
Bass, there's one restaurant in Orange Beach, Cosmos, that does it's like a
Banana leaf wrapped.
Chilean Sea Bass, and that was, up until I had that Dover sole, the best piece of fish I ever had, probably, or one of. Because if you see sea bass on the menu, I always say order it. Because usually if somebody's got sea bass, they know how to cook it. You're not going to see somebody mess up a piece of sea bass because it's an expensive fish.
Yeah.
Next, I usually go redfish.
I like redfish too.
I love redfish. And grouper's up there. Grouper's
up
4
there.
or 5. I shy away from salmon.
I do
I usually
too.
don't eat salmon. I've had it a few times at a restaurant and I've been blown away. It's been really good.
I've had it at the parish and it's been really good.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
pecan crusted salmon.
That was
I think.
redfish.
Oh, that was
redfish. Yeah.
I've had their salmon up there one time and it was pretty good.
I'm trying to think of another. Mahi's usually pretty
Mahi's
good.
good. Where's tilapia? Where do you eat that?
That's not even up there. That's so sewage fish. I don't eat tilapia.
It's like
You eat tilapia? The worst. You want to talk about the worst fish dish I ever ate in my life? I don't want to rip on you today, but this mayonnaise tilapia is probably what broke me from ever eating tilapia. Where did you? Let's talk about that. Let's get off this good fish. Let's talk about bad fish. You can talk about some bad fish I cooked too. That's fine too.
We did not have very much money.
You were buying frozen tilapia fillets
From Aldi. And I found a recipe. It was like you cover it with mayonnaise and then you put a little Parmesan on it, I think.
I'm going to talk about something that was just disgusting. Like, you haven't made many things since
I know. My mayonnaise.
the 20 years I've known you. You haven't made very many bad things, but mayonnaise, that was early on too. I don't know if that was rough. Now, I've made some salmon. I don't think it was my fault.
You've made some terrible salmon.
But I don't think it was my fault.
That's true.
It was the fish's fault.
Yeah, we bought bad fish.
You can't just go to Kroger and get salmon and expect it to be, top of the line stuff. It tastes like
Especially
cat food.
15 years ago.
Yeah. Oh man, and I did a video on it. It was like we cut up some, garnished it with like
grapefruit,
oranges or something, and the lighting was bad. The salmon tastes like something a cat would eat out of a dumpster. I tried to sell it. Yeah. Oh man, it was horrid. And you were like, I don't think we can eat this. And I put it in the fridge, and man, it just stunk up the whole refrigerator in the house, and it was bad. That's why you don't see me cooking much salmon.
Yeah. I kind of got burnt out on salmon because back when we didn't have very much money.
You bought the little frozen salmon. Yeah. Frozen fish is just not a good thing. I've learned that over the years. If I can't get my fish fresh, I'm probably not going to cook fish.
What about crustaceans? Where do your crustaceans rank? Are you a lobster?
No,
prawn?
So number one's probably, man, that's tough.
Shrimp.
Number one, no, I'm probably going to go crab legs. A good king crab leg. King crab or snow crab, I'm good either way. Number two is going to be shrimp.
As long as you got the butter to go with it.
Yeah, number two, shrimp, and I'm a Gulf shrimp man, but those Royal Reds that come out of that deep water are some mighty good shrimp done right.
If you get them cooked right.
Problem is people overcook them, and so the shell don't want to come off. You got to know how to cook a shrimp. I've had bad Gulf shrimp too, but shrimp's definitely up there. Four, would that be 3 or 4? 4 would probably be crawfish.
Really?
Yeah. I've got to put crawfish up there. They're 4.
Yeah.
Over crustaceans. Lobster would probably be
5th or 6th.
5th or 6th. Trying to think of another crustacean. Is an oyster considered crustacean? No, it doesn't have an exoskeleton, does it?
It's what would an oyster be? Do you know, Tyler?
Bivalve. It's a mussel. Maybe it's a mussel
or a shell. Yeah,
maybe it's a mussel. Yeah, but and then blue crabs are way on down. Hoe crabs. I do like Dungeness crab.
I don't think I've ever had a Dungeness crab.
But lobster's probably 5. Lobster's good, but it's not. Is it better than shrimp? Probably not, because most of the time people mess up lobster too. Mm-hmm. I've had some really good lobster, and I've had some really bad lobster.
I've had
and bad lobster is usually overcooked lobster, where it's so chewy. And it's like they try to sell you on why they're charging you so much for it, and then it's overcooked, and it's like eating a rubber band or something.
The mollusk. Oysters are mollusks.
Or mollusk. Yeah. That's a fancy word for mussel, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I do like oysters though. What's your favorite oyster? Is it a Gulf oyster? Just a briny
definitely.
Gulf oyster, but not too big. I don't want it to be like a big load. I like just, if my oyster's bigger than a cracker, I ain't getting down on it.
I want it
to be, a saltine size or better. I've had some good cold water oysters.
Yeah, I have too. They're smaller and they're usually a little sweeter.
I'm just a simple when it
I like the brininess that comes from the Gulf oysters.
I don't eat them from May to August though, not raw. I'm a R-month man. Like right now, we're back.
The oysters we had this week
we're back to oyster season for me. I don't know if that's a real thing or not, because I probably have ate some in the summer on vacation, but I try not to eat oysters, especially away from the coast, in months without a R. It has something to do with like the bacteria that can grow in the warmer water or something. So I guess if you're eating some cold water ones, it might be all right. But that's just always been a thing I've heard growing up. Don't eat oysters a month without an R, so I try to stick to it. If you ever been oyster sick, you'll know why.
I don't think I have.
Oh, man, I've been puking oyster sick. Mm. And I don't know if it's the oyster or the copious amounts of alcohol, but I contribute that to a bad oyster. We got some bad ones. Where were we at that time? It was a restaurant in South Haven.
Big League.
It ain't open anymore. Big League. Yeah, man, they brought out, was it raw oysters? And they just stunk. And I was like, man, if you can smell that oyster sitting there on the table, don't eat it.
We did not.
Yeah, we did not
passed
eat
on
those.
those.
Yeah.
So we got a package this week.
What was it?
Blow up Matt Pittman. He was no blow
cardboard
up.
Matt Pittman. Yeah, it's advertising his new pellets from Traeger. He's got, I guess since he's partnered with Traeger.
Yeah.
They did a whole line of Meat Church pellets.
Yeah, we talked about.
You
that
know,
in the
they
last
sent me
podcast.
they sent me the cardboard cutout with Matt holding his pellet bag. I didn't get the first bag of pellets. How you gonna send me that and I ain't got the pellets?
I absolutely love when they send us cutouts of people, especially people I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think that's the funniest thing.
We're taking pictures with it. So
Yeah, we're taking pictures with it.
We might set him out front.
We hide it.
Matt finally made it to How to Barbecue Right, Malcom shop.
We hide it.
Matt didn't come, but his cutout did. We need to save it so we can sign it when he comes.
Yeah. But we use those cutouts a lot around here. You can position them just right, and it'll scare the crap out of people.
Oh, yeah, if they're behind your door and you come in and cut your light on in your office and Matt Bittman's standing there looking at you.
We got one of Chad Ward.
Yeah, in the football outfit.
Yeah.
We need a full-on ensemble save those. We still have the Chad Ward one,
Yeah.
too?
Oh, yeah.
So Traeger just loves cardboard cutouts of people.
Okay.
I guess.
I got to
so.
get one of Malcolm.
Yeah, Rodney can probably do one.
Probably.
We need to call signs and stuff and say, Rodney, can you come and do me a cutout?
So I got a Chick-Fil-A update.
What's that mean?
That one needs a little context.
Changing their mayo. It's like a major news. You boycotting Chick-fil-A now?
So a listener, Daniel Jones,
Yeah.
he emailed me and said, and I think I emailed him back. If I didn't, Daniel, I'm sorry. I appreciate the email. But he said he heard us talking about Chick-fil-A. He said that his wife worked there in the early 90s, and at that time, they did marinate the chicken in the pickle juice from the pickles that they use on the
I
sandwiches.
saw a TikTok video on something like this recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he said, I worked at U.S. Foods for a long time, and he ran into a supplier recently, and he said everything now is frozen, not fresh, so they're pre-marinated now.
So he's saying that Chick-fil-A gets all their stuff from Cisco? Is that what or U.S. Foods?
U.S. Foods.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, well, I mean,
I guess
unless they have their own distributor.
Yeah, I guess so. So what I
Somebody's
saw, so the
distributing.
recipe I saw, they had like 3 eggs, and I want to say milk and pickle juice, and they marinated it in it, and then they did a dredge.
For how long?
4 hours, I think the dude said. I'd have to look that TikTok up. They like showed a picture of a handwritten recipe that a disgruntled employee wrote, I guess, and then this dude made it. Now, I don't know how legit it is.
Yeah.
He said before they take it down. So he may be giving out, the 13 herbs and spices
Yeah,
for Chick-fil-A.
yeah.
I don't know. But it looked like it when he did the nuggets. He breaded them. I want to say he did took them out of the marinade, put them in a seasoned flour. It had salt, pepper, and sugar in the flour.
Oh,
Like a
really?
Sweet, so it gave it a sweet. And I
can
can
see
see
that.
Chick-fil-A doing that.
Because they're chicken. It's not noticeably
And then he
sweet,
put them in a
but-
bag, mixed them up, a Ziploc bag. He said he don't know if they do that at Chick-fil-A because they got to do a bunch of them. They might do it in some other bigger zip bag. And then he fried them, and they look just like Chick-fil-A nuggets. So,
You might have to try that.
but it was 3 eggs, pickle juice, and I want to say milk. I bet you could find that TikTok if you search for Chick-fil-A nuggets or something. I don't know what he tagged it at.
He also recommended to tell them you want a pickle pack, and they will give you an extra pack of pickles to go in your sandwich.
No way. What's a pack of pickles?
He said just ask for a pickle pack. They will throw one in your order. They're usually at no charge, and will have half a dozen or so pickles in them.
Oh, I'm doing that now.
You're getting a couple.
2 pickles is not enough for a sandwich in my book. I want my bread to pickle coverage.
You want a pickle in every bite.
Yeah, I want a pickle in every bite. It needs at least 6 around,
Yeah.
you know. I want to put it on like you would pepperonis on a pizza. I want that. Pickles got to be all over it.
Chick-fil-A menu hacks.
Yeah, that's it.
He,
Maybe
al-
we need to do a TikTok on see if we can recreate the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
You should do it.
he also recommended, he said he listens to Dale Jr.'s podcast, and the other day he was talking about, sure wish he had someone to talk about barbecue with.
Oh, really? Junior, I can talk barbecue with Junior.
I don't think there's
I
anybody
wonder if
better.
I bet he likes ribs. I know he likes ribs.
He gets it from Rendezvous.
Yeah, he gets it shipped in,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
I don't think there's anybody better to talk to Dale Jr. about barbecue, really. As much as you like racing.
I wonder if he'd let me do a song with him. Well, let's talk about your daddy. Tell me about that race car driving man. You could do like the conversation, you know, like Junior said. Waylon Jennings,
Yeah,
that'd be a good one.
yeah.
I need to write that song. Maybe that'd be my end on this podcast. I got a song for us, Dale. What do you think? I want to go out to his, don't he have like that
He has like a whole
Western ranch
house.
themed up?
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Like a whole, it's basically like a real set of whole Western.
Yeah, old
He's
Western.
got a jailhouse, a saloon, a hotel.
He's got a brothel?
Brothel, I don't know.
Women hanging out trying to lure you in.
Heck yes, I mean,
Shell, I'm going to Dale's.
don't worry about me. If you don't hear from me for a couple days.
I'll just be over in North Carolina hanging out. I've never been to North Carolina, so be a good reason to go.
We were talking chicken and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Did y'all know that his podcast studio is sponsored by Bojangles?
No.
Bojangles
Man.
Studio.
Really?
Yeah.
So I didn't even know you had a podcast. Shows you how much I know.
He has like 4, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
What do
he
they
does
talk
4.
about?
Yeah, I think one of them's retired. I mean, they talk about everything. I think the main one is, everything. They talk about racing. They obviously talk barbecue sometimes,
Yeah.
food, etc.
Talk about Bojangles fried chicken?
Yeah.
So let's talk about Monday Night Football wings. This week you did Desert Heat
I
wings.
did. Just because the Raiders and they were playing that first game out there, Monday Night Football. So I'm going to come up with a desert wing. And
It was good.
It was really good, yeah. I did whole wings, seasoned them with Big Papa Smoker's Desert Heat Rub, which is kind of like, to me, it was like, it's like a lemon, citrusy AP kind of.
Yeah.
With some heat, with some cayenne to it.
It wasn't
So
salty as an AP to me.
no, it wasn't salty as an AP, but it was more coarse too. So it kind of had like a grit to it. And it was really good. Like that's the first time I ever put it on wings. I've used it before and put it on steak or just playing with it, you know.
I could see
But on wings, it shines
Yeah.
because it gives it a little citrus element, and it's sweet, and it's a little salty, and it's got garlic flavors.
I bet it'd be good on a whole chicken.
Yeah, but the kicker was the sauce. So I cooked them just hour and 15 minutes on 350 on the Traeger. They get crispy. If you like a crispy wing that's been on a grill or smoker, do them on a pellet grill at 350. But the trick is get them dry, like set them on a rack, let them air dry in the fridge, or set them out on the counter. Make sure you take a paper towel, get all the moisture you can off of them, and then spray them with a little cooking oil. If you got duck fat, it works great. But if you just got Pam or something like that, it'll work too. Give them a light coat of spray and then season them, and then put them on and cook them. And they'll be, I like taking them up to about 185, 190 even. I mean, wings, they say 165 is what the USDA recommends minimum. But that's not going to get the fat rendered, and it's not going to get the skin crispy. Taking them on up, will let that meat jump off them bones. It's still juicy. I mean, it's still got plenty of fat underneath that skin
It's
to
dark
make it
meat. It's
juicy.
going to be.
That's white meat. Wings
Oh, yeah,
white
it
meat.
is white meat.
But it's the best white meat. It really is.
It is. It has the flavor and texture of a dark. Yeah.
So while the wings were cooking, I threw together a sauce, and I started with just a stick of butter, about half a bottle of Killer Hog's hot sauce. So you could use whatever kind of hot sauce you got, Frank's or Louisiana or just something simple. But then you need some heat. So I went and bought Melinda's. It was a habanero mustard, and they had it at Kroger. And I guess they shouted us back on social. Did you see them shout back at us? We probably need to respond back to that.
Habanero honey mustard.
Yeah, I didn't even know they had social account. I knew we had tried it when Mark had went and bought some of the different sauces at Kroger. They'd had another one that we tried, and so I said, well, habanero mustard, that'll go with this desert heat. And then, so I think it was about, I didn't really measure it. I threw a recipe out there. I think it was like 4 ounce, or a quarter cup. It probably you
Can we pull
might
up
want to back that down if you don't like it hot, because it's pretty daggum spicy. But then I also put a little bit extra honey too, like another quarter cup of honey. That it's a simple sauce. Melt the butter, add the hot sauce, add the hot honey mustard, add the honey, and then just keep it on low, keep it warm until your wings get done. Toss them a few at a time in it, and man, those are some good wings.
So I pulled up the Melinda's. They have a whole line of wing sauces that sound really good.
Where are they out? Does it say where they're out of? I have no clue.
I don't know, but a lot of people are commenting on how much they like the Melinda's products.
Yeah, they're
Texas, Irving, Texas.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay, so that's over in Cowboy Country, up
Yeah.
there in Dallas. Irvine.
They do a sriracha wing sauce. Irving,
Okay.
yeah. They do a sriracha wing sauce, a habanero wing sauce, a creamy style wing sauce, ghost pepper.
That's the one we
Garlic
tried.
bombs,
The
Asian.
ghost pepper wing sauce. We have it back here at the shop in the pantry. And man, I ate some of it on some wings later that night because we watched Monday Night Football up here and ordered some Hooters wings delivered. And I was squeezing them on it. Man, it's good. It's hot.
So are you still committed to every Monday night?
Yeah. We're gonna do another one this week.
Are you cooking them all on the pellet grill, or are you going to
No, I'm switching it up. This week I'm gonna do Memphis style, Memphis dry rub wing, which I'm probably just gonna use like hot rub, some butter, like instead of spraying them with cooking spray, I'll dry them real good.
just cake it on?
Like dip them in butter and cake it on, and then I'm gonna smoke them. I'm probably gonna do it on Outlaw.
That
Oh,
sounds
okay.
delicious.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a good wing. And then as they cook, I'll probably baste them with a little more butter and hit them with more seasoning, so it'll be layered on. And it's gonna be a really good Memphis style wing. I'll probably serve that.
I
with
love
the
a Memphis style
ranch.
wing.
Yeah,
That's what I order when I go to Central Bar.
I did the Melinda's with the blue cheese. This one I'll do with the ranch.
That blue cheese was.
Man, that was
Fire.
good blue cheese. Yeah.
How'd you make that?
So you got to go get you a little container. Is that 4 ounces of blue
Yeah.
cheese?
I'd say.
Yeah, it's just that was private selection Kroger brand, but you could buy any brand of crumbled blue cheese you want, or buy you a little block and crumble it yourself. I did. It's super easy. 1 cup of sour cream, 1 cup of mayo, that tub of blue cheese. I take a fresh lemon, squeeze it in half, and then squeeze half of that juice in there, and I seasoned it with a good dose of black pepper and just a good pinch of salt. That's all that's in it. Stirred it up and let it sit for, it needs to sit an hour or so before you serve it.
To let that blue cheese.
Yeah, man, I
get in
love
the
homemade blue
sauce.
cheese. It's like
I don't
it's more
like.
of a dip than a dressing.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people just serve it with a bottled dressing or something. It's too runny for me. I think a wing dip needs to be more of a dip.
Yeah.
Or, it stays on there when you dip it and pick it up. When you're dipping your celery and your carrots in there.
I don't like the blue cheese like you get out at a wing joint,
It's always too runny. Yeah, it's always it's not my favorite either.
But I like the one you made.
Yeah, and that goes with it. It goes with it.
So you've had 2 recipes. We didn't talk about it last week because we didn't have the podcast. You've had a spicy buffalo chicken sandwich and a barbecue hot wing.
I've been on my football cooking kick.
Yep.
Because football season kicked off. Yeah, the sandwich. I've seen a lot of people make the little sandwiches. The little sandwiches were killer.
Yeah, they were good.
They were real good. I took boneless, skinless thighs and just cooked them on the pellet grill.
Why
Seasoned them
thighs?
because they're juicier, because they're more tender, and they're more forgiving. You're not going to overcook them. That's why. And they make a better sandwich. Man, everybody gets, I got to cook a chicken breast for a chicken sandwich. Do a chicken thigh sandwich. I promise you.
I don't like chicken breasts.
I need, you know what? Maybe
They're
that's.
flavorless.
I need to
and
do the Chick-Fil-A
dry.
sandwich, but do it with a thigh.
Heck yeah.
I bet you it'd be good. Batter, soak it in the pickle juice and the eggs and the milk, and then batter it and fry it. Put it on a bun with pickles and mayo.
I'm in. That's
I'm
pretty
all
much
in.
this tailgate.
Yeah, yeah, better than Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
So you used hot rub.
Yeah, that's all it was chicken thighs. I didn't marinate them or anything. Chicken thighs, seasoned with hot rub, put them on a little cooling rack, stuck them on the pit. 30 minutes, I dunked them, and so while the chicken was cooking, I just did a basic wing sauce.
Right on the pit with it.
Yeah.
You used one of those
Butter,
loaf pans.
hot sauce. Now I kicked it up. I added cayenne, I added red pepper, and added more black pepper to it. And I probably should have put some white pepper in there, but I didn't. There was just 3 peppers. And I put that in there, let that melt, stirred it up. When those thighs got like the bark set on them, They're probably pretty close to done. I didn't temp them, but they're probably about 145, 150. I started I gave them one dunk over both sides, kind of flipped them over in that sauce right there beside it on the Traeger, put them back on the rack, let them keep cooking. About 10, 15 more minutes. They were 175, which a thigh needs to be. You don't have to overcook these. It ain't going to hurt if they overshoot, but you're fine. But I dunked them again and then topped them with cheese. I used pepper jack cheese, just put it all over all of them. Let that cheese melt another 5 minutes probably. It didn't even take that long. And then served them up on toasted bun with the
spicy ranch.
Spicy ranch. Yeah, I used that was one you made up for me, wasn't it? What was it? A Hidden Valley Ranch packet, mayo,
hot sauce.
They have sour
and
cream
buffalo
in it?
seasoning. Yeah,
Little sour cream.
It's milk, mayonnaise, sour cream, ranch packet, that Frank's Red Hot buffalo seasoning, hot sauce.
That's it. That's all it was. Mix that up. That went on the bottom bun. Of course, you had to load it up with pickles. The cheese covered hot chicken thigh, more sauce drizzled on top. That was all it took.
Crispy jalapenos.
Oh, I forgot the crispy jalapenos. Yeah,
you could use the crispy onion. Somebody said that they did
if
that.
you didn't, if
you didn't want the jalapenos.
That was but did you think that was super spicy sandwich? Even though I had all those spicy elements,
I thought it was spicy, but I didn't think it was too
Over
spicy.
the top
I kept
spicy?
wanting to eat it.
Yeah,
Same thing with those wings. I thought they were spicy, but in a good way.
that was a killer chicken sandwich, man. And you could knock those out for a tailgate or a football party easy.
Yeah,
Like you could do
cheap too.
racks of those thighs. Yeah, they are cheap.
You could use buffalo seasoning instead of a hot rub.
You could. Yeah, I don't know if you think it'd get too much though.
Too buffalo-y?
Too salty and
Possibly.
I think the seasoning, a spicier
Barbecue rub.
seasoning works. You
So-
could have just done AP and not left out or kicked an AP up with add some extra cayenne, red pepper to that.
Yeah.
Make it spicy.
So if you were going to cook those on a charcoal grill instead of a pellet grill,
Oh, it worked perfect. I'd have me a 2-zone fire so I could melt the cheese and stuff. Keep all my all the hot coals to one side, leave a cool zone. Go ahead and just grill those thighs like how I used to do the char grilled thighs and sauced them and grilled them. Exact same thing.
ooh, that'd be good. So you get the char element to it and the
That would
buffalo-y.
be really good
Yeah.
like that on the Weber. And then move them over. You could put them on a little rack after you got them all char grilled. Cheese them, let them sit there and melt, and then do that. That would be perfect.
Somebody asked, what do you need the rack for? And really, it's just convenience.
Yeah,
it's not
convenience.
environment.
No, I mean, it kept them tighter together and let me put the cheese on it, and I could pick it up if I wanted to.
Yeah.
You really don't have to have the rack, I guess. I mean,
Makes your life a little easier.
I was thinking I'd pick them up, take them to the board, which I did. I didn't have to move them all one at a time, put them on something. It's pure convenience cooking on a rack like that. It's not out of necessity. It's just easiness to move stuff around.
Something else that was spicy that I really liked was that, let me get it right. It was a sweet fire honey slaw. What was it?
I called it a sweet mustard.
Sweet
fire
mustard
slaw.
fire slaw.
Yeah, sweet mustard fire slaw for
And
the
that one,
dogs.
that one on your barbecue hot link.
Yeah. Man, if y'all are sleeping on the barbecue hot links, on hot links in general,
What's a hot link?
it's a red skin smoked sausage is what, we grew up calling them. Do you remember seeing those as a kid, Tyler? The
Heck
red
yeah.
skin sausage?
You did?
What did y'all
Yeah.
call them?
Yep. Hot links.
Hot links.
Hot
Yeah,
links.
they're hot links. That's what they are. Circle B is the brand I buy, but they have, there's all different. Sam's has a different brand. I think they sell Circle B's at our Sam's too, though, in the big pack.
Yeah. I'm sure there's other brands, right?
You know, they're really good. As a kid, we ate them.
Oh, sorry.
Hey there, Malcolm. As a kid, we split them open, and my mom would fry them in the skillet for breakfast. And they kind of get charry on both sides, and put it over a biscuit with jelly, or cheese, or egg, or something.
We did that.
But they also barbecued them. It was also a big thing to have barbecued hot link. And the whole spiral thing Mikey has some buddies, Brad and Jeff Tice, and their dad had a team called Hilltop Hoggers. And that's what Mikey said. The first thing he remembered him cooking when Mikey met him was a spiralized red hot like that. He would take it and kind of do that same little cut on it because they were using the smaller ones and they would draw up. So it'd be smaller than the bun. So he figured by putting that corkscrew score mark on it, it would spread out as it cooked and be the perfect size for the bun. And so I bought the Circle B's and did it. And it made it even better because it made it bigger than the bun. And I don't want my dog to bun ratio to be jacked up. I don't want to just eat a bunch of bread. I want the meat to be the star of the show. And so it also does the same thing. Like we Hasselback cut those smoked sausages when we do sausage and cheese.
Yeah.
to let some of the grease out. It also lets some of that fat, that grease out of that red skin sausage, so it's not so greasy when you bite into it. And it gives you cracks and crevices to get more flavor in it. Like if you're going to glaze it with the sauce or you want the smoke to penetrate it more, you're making that more surface contact area on it. I just like the way they open up and they grow. It's like those snakes and sparklers. You know? Put the heat to them and things start stretching out. It's really good, though.
Y'all use
the slaw made those, though.
Yeah. The slaw, I don't like mustard that much. I'm not that big a fan of it. And I was worried it would be a little spicy for me, but man, that was one of my favorite slaws that you've made.
Really? It was so easy.
It was easy.
We had half a jar of sweet fire pickles in the refrigerator. So I drained them in a little wire strainer, threw them in the food processor, and just pulsed it maybe 6 to 7 times, just enough to where it chopped it real good, and then put it back in the jar. And then when I got ready to make that slaw, I bought 2 10-ounce bags of, I want to say it said angel hair coleslaw.
Yeah.
It didn't have carrots. It didn't have the radicchio. It was just cabbage that was finely shredded. You could do that on a box grater.
Yeah.
Or, it'd be hard to do with a knife to get it that thin, but you could, I guess.
I've done cabbage on a box grater before.
Yeah, it does fine.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
But you want finely cut cabbage, about 20 ounces. Half that jar, that whole half a jar of sweet fire relish, I turned into a relish. No liquid. You don't need the liquid.
And your sweet fire pickles are kind of like a cowboy caviar. They're sweet
with pickle.
and they got jalapenos in them, and they're pretty hot.
Yeah, they're spicy.
Yeah.
On their own, they're spicy.
They're very sweet, very hot.
And so I dumped those in there. What made that slaw was the slaw dressing. There was 3 tablespoons of mustard, 3 tablespoons of mayo, and then I used 1 tablespoon of cider vinegar, I think.
Hold on, I got it.
2 tablespoons of sugar, I want to say, and celery seed and salt and pepper. Am I right?
Mustard, mayo, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon of celery seed, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper.
That easy. You mix all that up separate. And then I like to do it in a Ziploc bag. So I put my 2 packages of coleslaw in the bag, my half a jar of the pickle relish, all that dressing. That's the perfect amount of dressing for 20 ounces of cabbage. And that was it.
Let it sit for about an hour.
Yeah.
I ate that leftover slaw.
It was good, wasn't it?
Very good.
Yeah.
It was really one of my favorites.
It needs to sit. So you mix it around in the bag and it looks like, man, there's not enough liquid in there. But as that slaw dressing starts working on that cabbage and the sugar in it, it pulls moisture out of that slaw, and you just go back and mix it in 1 hour. It is perfect. And you don't need anything else on those dogs. You get that after you cook those hot links, it takes about 35 minutes for them to be ready to sauce, and then put a little sauce on them, let that go another 5-10 minutes. You could double sauce them if you wanted to. I read that little Traeger Tailgate Ranger at $2.50 the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You could do that on any grill. Just keep it. You don't need to. I wouldn't grill them because you're not trying to grill those sausages. You're just trying to get them in some heat, indirect heat, and they'll do their own thing.
So if you do use a charcoal grill, put a hot side and a cool side.
Yeah, hot side and cool side. And I would wait till probably move them over to that hot side to set the sauce or something at the end. Because if you put them over the hot side first, they're just going to char up on the outside. They're not going to spread out like you want them to. They need time in it to do that. Throw them on a hot dog bun. You could straight out the package. You could toast them if you wanted to. Top them with that slaw, and you don't need nothing else.
I feel like the soft bun goes better with that because you got the crunchy slaw.
Yeah.
And the
a red skin sausage.
Texture.
The casing on a red skin is a little thicker than a normal.
Yeah.
So it's got a little, a little bite, a little chew to it, but it's real snappy. I mean, it's like the casing snap. The slaw had a crunch.
And you're picky about your buns anyway.
I just want a soft one. Yeah. I don't want my bun toasted on a hot dog. If you toast a hot dog bun, it wants to break, and there's nothing worse than building you a good dog, on a hot dog bun, and the buns separate. And you just got 2 halves of buns and everything on the plate. I hate that. I guess you could get those top split buns and do it.
Aren't those like the potato rolls or something
those
like that?
Those are too thick and dense to me.
Yeah, see, it jacks the whole bread ratio up once again.
You just got to have
it's
nice
a bread
sauce.
ratio thing, yeah.
So you've used that Traeger Ranger. You used it for this video. You've used it to cook pork butts on the beach. You've used it.
Chad used it to cook a ribeye.
Yeah.
Monster Smash Burgers.
Monster Smash Burgers I did.
So
was that a YouTube
TikTok?
or TikTok?
TikTok. What's your honest
bacon
opinion?
on it?
Yeah, you've cooked bacon on it.
Man,
What's
it's a
your
little
honest
cooking
opinion of the
machine.
grill?
It's a cooking machine. If you need a pellet grill on the go, get you one of them.
What's the retail on that?
$400, I think. Something like that. It's not bad for a take and go. I mean, they'll flat cook.
Would you take it to tailgate?
Yeah, all day long. You probably run it on a battery pack.
Oh,
You
really?
don't even need a generator. Yeah, if you got a decent battery pack, because it's just got to heat up. It don't take much to run it. It'd probably run. I bet it'd run 8 hours on a battery pack. That's a good review for Out to Smoke. We need to find a battery, and I do have like a. I don't know if it's a DeWalt battery pack or no. It's a. I don't know who made it. It's got cat on it, like a Caterpillar, but I don't think they probably just licensed it or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I got one down at the hunt house. We could do how long could you run a pellet grill, or would a pellet grill run on
A
battery pack, and how long? Could you cook like a butt or ribs or something on it? Get an
Good to
8 hour
know.
cook.
Yeah.
We'll do a review on one of those
I bet it would vary from model to model, too.
because that makes it easier where you don't have to have AC power, or if your power goes out, you can have that as a backup. So you can run. I've seen people do that, run them in line. Where you're still running to the power to that, and that's hooked up to your power. If power goes out, you got the power from the battery pack. You never lose on over. Like if you're leaving it or something.
Something else that you got down at Hunt House is a Blackstone.
Man,
You finally got one. Well, you've kind of had one.
yeah, this one was Waylon's,
Yeah.
and it was been sitting on his porch for 2 years.
When I say sitting on his porch, I mean in the box.
Where they delivered it, never moved. Like it was still sitting there. He's like, "Man, why don't you get that and take it down to the hunting house?" I said, "All right," and went down. Me and you went over and got it, took it down there. And Mikey put it together, and we had that thing up and seasoned. So you have to, when you take them out of the box and set them up, you got to season that top the first time. And that's
What is that top made out of? It's cast
steel.
iron?
No, it's just metal.
steel,
Yeah,
metal. Okay.
Yeah, and it's so to season it, you want to put that black finish over all of it. So you have to heat it up high as it'll go. Put clean it off first, and then put oil on it like cooking oil. I think we used canola oil. Rub it down, and you burn it all off, and it starts turning black, like from the center where the heat comes. Because it's got like these heat bars under it, like a propane grill that heats that whole metal surface up that sits above it, and it starts cooking out. And you want it from corner to corner. You want that thing seasoned. So you run it, I guess, about 30, 45 minutes on high. Wipe it back down, put some more oil on it, do it again. Just keep doing it. It took like 3 times to get it. It probably took almost 2 hours.
I thought
more.
something was on fire. I was like, what have
It
y'all
smokes,
done?
it does all kind of stuff, yeah. But it seasons that thing. Now nothing will stick to it. So we did, where it shines to me is breakfast. Man, if you're at camp or you're somewhere and you need to cook breakfast for a lot of people, you can go out there and throw bacon, sausage, do your eggs on it, do pancake, whatever you want. You can do on that Blackstone. And it's fun to cook on.
Yeah.
Feels like you're at a bocce grill or something. Wait till I do some fried rice. We got to do some TikTok videos on the
I
Blackstone.
think so too.
man.
Yeah.
Were you throwing the spatulas up in the air and stuff
Yeah.
and catching them?
Steak of chicken, fried rice.
Doing sake shots?
Yeah, I can do it all, man. I've been to some bocces. Most things around here, you go to bocces, and it's not Asian folks doing it; it's Mexican guys.
Yeah.
They do a good job. You don't ever see a white person. There's one dude that was the white guy doing it.
We used
It's
to.
not near as good, I have to say.
I do remember that guy. You know how when we were in the Bahamas, they had those event grills, and they would put the pizza oven
Yeah,
on top of them?
you could do that on those. I
That's what I
bet.
was going to ask. Could you put one of those pizza ovens?
I
there?
need to check on that. I guarantee they make one for it.
I bet Blackstone has a ton of accessories, don't they?
Oh yeah, they do. I mean, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
You got to watch on TikTok people making videos on Blackstones. There's like a whole section of just people cooking on Blackstone. I'm sure there is on YouTube. I've never searched, but I bet you there's just as many people cooking on Blackstones as there are grills. It's a phenom now. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's just going to be a fad or what, but
But they
flat top
cook good,
grill-
right?
Flat top, man, yeah. So if I had an outdoor kitchen, had you rather have a pizza oven, or what would you want out there?
I mean, I want a pellet grill.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have a pellet grill. I'm gonna have a charcoal grill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna have me a smoker of some sort. And now instead of they used to, you always put a propane grill. Screw that. If I'm doing propane, I'm just gonna have me a Blackstone.
Yeah.
I can cook just as much on that, probably get better flavor than on the propane grill. And then I
Never
would even
liked the
consider
propane
having a
grill.
pizza. But I don't even see a need for a pizza oven really. Who's cooking that many pizzas to where you need a outdoor pizza oven.
I imagine it's
I think
a
an
lot of work
attachment to do that
yeah.
is better, but you're better suited. Like I can cook pizzas on my egg or on my pellet grill. I could probably get an attachment for the Blackstone or something. You know, you can even get one for a Weber grill.
Would you ever
to have a built-in pizza oven? I mean, you'd have to be committed to making pizzas all the time.
Would you get a Santa Maria style?
Oh yeah, I love those.
Yeah,
There's one. It's
that's a lot of fun.
I've been
for
seeing
you,
a guy
though.
cook on, and it's not really a Santa Maria type grill. It's like it looks like if you imagine a Blackstone that had some walls up high to it.
Yeah,
Like it went up probably a foot, and then on one end it's got your fire burning in, and it's got a basket about like goes in the Outlaw, and that's where you start putting in lump charcoal and wood. And as the hot ashes burn, you take them and you shovel them over the 3/4 of the grill where the grilling surface is. And it's got like a raised cooking rack, but you can get your coals and you can spread them out there. So the whole time you're burning heat over here, making coals, and you're spreading it under where you're cooking your meat. And it's like Argentine style cooking. You can set it up with like little rotisserie skewers that you can turn, or it's got a grate. But I don't remember. I don't think the grate's adjustable like a full blown Santa Maria. It's just like about 8 inches above where
control
you
it
shovel
with
your
the
you do it by moving your coals
Yeah.
that you're cooking down. And it's pretty slick. I was like, man, that's some good over the fire cooking there.
Yeah, that's not something I'd want to get into, but I could see you enjoying it.
Yeah. Because you're getting to burn stuff down, and
Yeah.
moving hot coals around, and you're still cooking over it. You control the hot zone, the cool zone, all that. Have you seen that on TikTok? The dude doing it? It looks pretty cool, doesn't it?
It does.
One thing that we've been doing here lately is cooking a pork butt overnight on a pellet grill.
Man, I'm just about ready to put that up against a pork butt on any kind of smoke.
I would too.
When you go 225 or 215 on super smoke on that Traeger, and I never would think, man, the pork butt on Traeger is going to be some of the best I ever cooked. It don't get any easier. And when it comes off, that meat, when you go breaking it down, it is so moist and so juicy, and the smoke flavor is there, and it has everything you want in a pork butt.
And you got a crunchy bark, too.
And you got an awesome bark on the outside, and it's nothing to it. I mean, you season it with whatever rub you want. We usually throw a little AP and a little regular Lee barbecue rub on one. You put it on about 6 o'clock, and by 8 o'clock the next morning, it is ready to go. And you throw it, you put it in a pan or wrap it in foil, stick it in a dry cooler, and serve it for lunch after it sits there an hour or two. It's phenomenal.
It is.
I mean, I was eating. I was like, man, this is as good as barbecue I've turned in and won first place contest with. I mean, we pulled the money muscle off. Then I was getting the tubes out behind this. We just did this for Michael's birthday. He said he wanted a barbecue. You just took the easy way out. Throw it on a pellet grill, and it was.
At this point, I've pretty much
good.
come up like, if you want me to cook a pork butt,
That's what you're getting.
yeah.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if I could cook one better on the old hickory on the stick burner.
I've done probably half a dozen of them.
I would. That's a good comparison. Cook your best butt. Season them same way. Cook them. Put one overnight on a pellet grill. One do it on a regular smoker that you tend in the fire the whole time. See if you can tell a difference. See if they're that much better. Because
Do you think you could cook it better
at home? This is cooking for home, not competition cooking.
Yes.
I don't know if it can get much better.
What about a drum?
I don't know if it can get much better. It's as good as flavors that drum, and I've always said a drum has the best flavor.
Yeah.
Now, a drum's going to cook it faster. You're not going. I think what makes that pellet grill one so good is that you're checking that grill back and holding it down so low and letting it go time wise. Like this butt's never getting to 200. You're not going to see a 202 finish. It's going to finish out and be done around 190, 192.
When I probed this one, it was 2 butts I cooked. When I probed them Saturday morning, it went in like butter and was reading about 186.
Yeah. And it was smooth done.
Yeah.
So you've held it low that whole time. It's gave everything it's got.
Yeah.
All that fat rendered stays inside it. It's like it's just juicy from end to end. Bone still comes out perfectly clean. You just can't get it's hard to get any better.
And there's nothing to do. You season it, you put it on, and you forget about it.
Take
until
it
the
off.
Next morning.
Yeah, take it off and ready to serve.
You got to make sure your hopper's full, though.
Let's put one on when we get home. I need to go get a butt. We'll just go get a Kroger butt. I don't care.
Butts have been expensive here lately.
Yeah, they have. $25, $30 for a pork butt now.
Yeah.
I miss the days of $10, $12 pork butts.
Not anymore.
You can't screw them up no more. It's getting as bad as a brisket used to be. Brisket's even more. You really can't screw them up now.
Have you seen a price on a brisket lately?
$100
For like just a prime?
regular. Choice. Yeah, they're high as crap. I ain't cooked one in a while.
That is something I'd like to have. It's some really good stick burner brisket. Now I do think you can get a better brisket on a stick burner.
Man, I don't know. I've cooked some low and slow ones on the Traeger. It's been good. I'm telling you. So that's the only way. Like
What makes it so good?
The low slow cooking. That's what makes it so good. It really is. If you go to brushing it, if you go up above 235, 250 on a pellet grill, you're losing everything that it's just going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I've got videos out there where I said, let's cook this at 235 the whole time, and it's okay. It ain't the best I've ever cooked by far. It ain't as good as a stick burner, good as a drum at that point. But when you drop that temperature back and you give it time to cook and you don't rush it, like that, what brisket was it I did? It was like almost 17, 18 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Low and slow brisket on a pellet grill. That brisket was as good as any brisket you could cook on stick burner, I think.
It was pretty good.
You didn't think it was as good?
No, yeah.
It was good.
Stick burner.
It was good.
Could you do that on a cheaper pellet grill?
I don't know. I never tried it.
For brisket? Is that what we're asking?
Pork. Let's just say pork.
Okay.
Could you do it on yours?
So yes,
because you got what do you have, Pit Boss?
Yeah, so mine's a Pit Boss. I'm not 100% sure of the model, but it's just like the cheaper one. And when I did my pork butt, I mean, it came out really, really good. There were parts that I feel like I don't feel like it cooks very evenly. Like when you start sacrificing certain things, yeah.
It's probably, that's part of the price point of the grill too.
Yeah. And then the hopper and stuff like that's not, it's really small. But like you said, you could rig it up, get it some modifications, you'd be good to go. But I have to wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock, make sure, because I had one time where it ran out and it was probably out for like 2 hours before I woke up. And I don't think I was able to save that one.
Yeah.
So yes.
That's a scary feeling. I've done that before.
So yes.
As long as that temp doesn't drop below 140 for 4 hours, you're okay though.
I was cooking ribs for something.
Rib went out and fire
went out. Went out and I freaked out, didn't know what to do, so I threw them in the oven. And then when I served them, and folks were like, "These are delicious."
All off the bone. Yeah, what'd you do?
They weren't folks that normally eat barbecue, They weren't these people right here. Yeah.
Screw those up, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what you'd say.
Really screwed that up. It's up there with the mayo fish.
But the people I served, they thought they're great.
Were you making tartar sauce to go on the tilapia? Decided to go ahead and pre-put it on? Or what? I read that recipe wrong. I don't know.
Now that you say that.
Oh. What else we got on our list?
We were going to talk about cooking dove last weekend.
Oh man,
So how do you cook? How do you cook dove?
How do you cook dove?
Yeah.
The best way that we had is skewer them dudes up, hit them with a little AP, maybe just a touch of hot rub for color, and then cook them until they're about 125,
You didn't marinate
130.
those?
No, I was straight out just off the bone breast. Take the dove, breast it out. Take a little paring knife, cut each side of the breast off, and it's just a little morsel.
It is.
It's not about as big as your
like
thumb.
a chicken nugget.
Yeah, maybe not that big. I mean, it's but we didn't marinate. So some of them we wrapped in bacon. We like pre-cooked some bacon on the Blackstone, just to where it was floppy, and then wrapped half a piece of that around each dove breast, and then put them on wooden skewers, stacked them, and seasoned them the same way. A little AP on the meat, on the dove meat, and then a little hot rub over the top just to give it some color. And we put them on pellet grill. They was running probably about 275, and it took about 20 minutes. Not long.
Yeah.
You don't want to. The worst thing is overcook. You're cooking wild game like that, especially dove. You can eat it medium rare, it's fine. You will still want it to be pink on the inside. Cooked on the outside, some pink on the inside. That's medium rare, medium, no more than medium. The dove, so we didn't do all of them in bacon because I wanted to taste some of the dove. So Mikey just skewered them up, seasoned them, put them on there, and cooked them the same way. Watched the internal temperature, and those things would melt in your mouth.
They were really good.
They were absolutely delicious. If you've never had dove like that, it's the simplest way to cook it. And
what if you don't hunt dove and you want to cook dove? I bet you could go to the
get you some
butcher
pigeons or something. I don't know. That's probably the closest thing.
I bet Gamekeeper Butchery has
I don't think
some.
they sell dove like
really?
that. I've never seen it. You can get quail, but that's different.
Yeah.
Dove's different. It's darker meat.
Um,
It's kind of like duck a little bit. I would say if you compare it to
I
wild duck,
thought the
it was really
bacon
good.
wrap was good, but the ones that were just the breast.
And it doesn't have like
the
you
best.
think. So it's a wild bird. It's gonna have like a game. It doesn't have a gamey flavor at all. There was no marinade, no anything. Now I know some people soak them in Italian dressing or Worcestershire soy sauce, something like that. And you could do that if you wanted to, but simple seasoning, put them on the pit, and the biggest thing is don't overcook them. Whatever you do, if you overcook them, it's going to be minerally. It's going to taste like liver. It's just going to have a bad. And a lot of wild game, deer does that. Duck does it really bad, and dove will do the same thing. It's going to get more of a minerally, gamier taste. But if you cook it perfect on that medium rare, no more than medium side, it'll melt in your mouth. And how would you describe the flavor of it? Because that's the first time you ever ate dove, you said, right? Have you ever ate it before?
I hadn't eaten it in a long, long time.
Never like that, I bet. Huh? They probably fried it or
Yeah,
cooked it down with gravy and stuff.
yeah. It was rich and delicious.
Yeah. It's like
rich,
a really, really good
delicious
steak.
little
Wasn't it?
morsel. Yeah,
Yeah, like
it
a
kinda
really,
had
really good steak. Now, also, since we didn't have a ton of dove, I think we only had about 30 or so cooked. But also laid out some deer meat. I still trying to finish out the deer meat from last year, so I had a backstrap left, and I did marinate it. Italian dressing, Worcestershire, a little soy. Basic. That's the old school. Cut it up into like about finger width slices, and then marinated it for probably 30 minutes, not too long.
you could have gone longer.
Yeah, 4 or 5 hours would have been great.
Yeah.
I didn't have that long because we've been hunting all day. I was trying to get dinner ready, so I took more bacon, like a whole another pack of bacon. We pre-cooked it on the Blackstone and took some jalapenos, cut them in half, took a spoon, cleaned out the veins and seeds, took me a block of cream cheese and just cut a strip off it. And I would cut a strip, put it right in the pepper. I didn't season the cream cheese. I didn't do anything. Took that marinated deer out of the, piece out of the marinade, laid it on top, wrapped it in a full slice of that pre-cooked bacon and toothpicked it. And that was deer poppers, old school style. They cooked right there along with the dove. And soon as about the same time, probably no more than 30, I would say 30, 40 minutes at 275. Just you want the pepper to get soft but not soggy. You want the cream cheese good and hot. It doesn't run because it stays together. And then you want the deer meat cooked about medium rare to medium too.
Yeah.
Bacon. And see, the reason why I pre-cook the bacon, because your bacon will never get done before everything else is done if you don't pre-cook it. And there's been times where I used to not. We just wrap it in bacon, and you get that old floppy bacon that don't have any color to it. Gives it great flavor, but most people won't eat the bacon. This bacon got crispy in 30, 40 minutes. It's completely brown around the edges. When you bite into it, it tastes like a piece of bacon. And even Dustin's wife, Whitney, was there, and she's like, "You don't eat the bacon, do you?" And she tried. She's like, "This is the best bacon I've ever had on this thing." Because people just didn't know, if you don't cook them right, it's going to be floppy and not good.
It's technique.
It's all technique on that. Those are simple as poppers to cook.
So I did find one website that sells dove meat, but it looks shady as it can be. It's got a picture of an actual
I bet it's pitted.
dove head. It's not a picture of the meat.
Dove meat, 2 birds fresh. How much are they selling that for?
$80 for 2 birds.
No way.
Yeah.
That has to be the highest priced wild game there is.
Because they're tiny.
Yeah. I'm talking about, I bet it wouldn't even weigh, I bet you they're not an ounce each. That's probably not even 4 ounces worth of meat. 2 dove.
That's a little shady.
Are they live?
I don't know. That's the thing.
That I would not do that.
It's just a
Do
picture.
not pay $80 for 2 dove.
It's a
Now when you
happy little
equate
dove.
it, I don't know how much money we spend on shells getting in the food plots so these kids can shoot these birds. we may have paid that much for 30 dove. You know what? I don't even think
Probably
about it.
paid
That's
more.
Probably not a bad idea. It's probably a lot cheaper to buy 15 of those. What would that be? $80 times 15. What is that?
I just think, in a marketing point of view, putting a picture of a scared bird right beside you're selling the meat.
Scared.
It's not the
Would it be better if it was the headless body? Because sometimes you have to pull their heads off.
feathers and all, blood dripping. Yeah.
I'm sure they give you a whole plucked of.
Probably.
All we eat is the breast. I don't even know. I can't imagine trying to eat a little leg quarter one. Way too much trouble to pull all the feathers off, and you can just rip the breast out and clip the wings and go about your business.
Well,
Some high dollar meat.
Yeah. It's good, though. It's a delicacy.
Oh, it is. It's very good. It's very good. I'm planning on going kill some more of them. Wish I get some flying. But it was a bad year for birds. Now, most people we talked to didn't have many. Luckily, we had some. We had two good hunts. Oh, I say good hunts. I didn't kill that many myself. I let the kids shoot, but I did have to show them how a few times.
You keep getting away from the microphone.
I'll do better.
You won't. That's all I got for today, Mel.
That's it. What do we got coming up? Anything? We got Water Tower coming up.
Our local barbecue contest coming up.
Yep. It's next Saturday here in Hernando. If anybody's in the area, you want to stop in, check out all the people cooking. There's going to be a car show. There's going to be tons of vendors around the square. Yeah. There's going to be live music that night starting at 6 p.m., I think.
7.
The barbecue contest is going to run that afternoon. It'll start that morning, turn in that afternoon. There'll be awards probably around 4:35 on the courthouse square.
4.
I'm just... If I get all this information wrong, hey, I'll not even be next week. I don't know. I'll be out there.
There'll be Kids Zone.
It's a little weird if it's just me hanging out there, nobody else there, I guess. Kids Zone, bring the kid, bring a pet.
Yeah. It's a whole little town festival. So, and then we've got
cool T-shirts.
Yeah. Then we've got what are you filming next week? Korean garlic wings.
It's on the list.
I'm the one pushing for that one. That's not your idea.
I may go different.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking breakfast for next week. A little pork butt action seasoned with some of the sausage seasoning and maybe some biscuits. I have to do a biscuit recipe for TikTok.
Ooh, that'd be good.
That'd be it.
You worked on your biscuit recipe during quarantine.
I did. I got them down.
That's why I put on so much weight during quarantine.
Biscuits.
Practicing biscuits. Well,
you got a whole podcast designed around it. Bells and biscuits.
Well,
but a good one.
This is where you.
Oh, this is where I finish it up. This is where I say, Tyler, do you have anything else to talk about? Where can they find you?
They can find me at TikTok_Tyler on Instagram and TikTok Tyler on Twitter. And make sure you guys check out the Hot Ones video that's coming out on Tuesday on Out the Smoke.
That's right. Did we talk about those TikTok recipes we did? We released some.
No, we'll talk about that next week.
Barbecue nachos. I had a drink. I had the Vikings grape drink. That was a good one. Shell, where can they find us?
If you'd like to connect.
I don't want to wrap this one up. I feel like y'all are forcing me out of here today. I just got wound up.
If you'd like to connect with Malcolm, it's HowToBBQRight on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and of course YouTube. If you'd like to connect with me, it's Miss Southern Shell on Instagram and TikTok.
Hey, well, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us today, and we'll be back next week doing this podcast thing once again. It's always fun, and we gone.